Lisa is incredible. I met her through mutual dance friends a few years ago, although I'd heard of her for years in the belly dance community. And she, I didn't realize the impact that she was going to have on my life. And so every opportunity that I have had and have witnessed her have these incredible gems of information and just empathy, and also this really wonderful way of holding you accountable, has been integral to so many incredible people out there and their businesses. Um, so I mean, I don't know. Here's a short rundown of her bio. She's a TEDx speaker, professional dancer, serial entrepreneur, and advanced master coach. Um, she has run a dance studio that was body positive, allowing others to create their own identity through dance, which is so just, I keep using incredible, but it's true. It's incredible. She's studied programs with Brene Brown and Tony Robbins, but her ability to speak about her story and her how change can happen as a speaker is really powerful. So hopefully you'll both gain some information today, and also that sense that you can change things too, and you can be as incredible as she is. So anyway, thank you all for being here. Lisa Zahia.
Hello, here I am. Thank you. I feel incredible after that. Hi y'all. I'm going to make myself big so you can see me. And I'm going to share a presentation in a second. So I'm so excited because we're talking about the holidays. And so I have a background as a movement teacher, as Supergate was saying, and as a teacher of many things. So I love teaching on Zoom, but I love even more teaching in person because I can see you and talk to you. So I'd love for you to use the chat as much as possible so we can make this interactive instead of me talking for a really long time. I have a question, two questions for you. One is, have you made all the money that you want to make this year? Are you done? Are you like, I'm going to take the next 3 months off? Tell me in the chat. Not yet. It's coming. Yeah. If you have, you can teach the class and I will learn from you. uh, my second question is, have you ever felt like, one day you're sitting at your desk and somebody's like, what are you doing for the holiday next week? And you're like, what holiday? And they're like, oh, Thanksgiving. And you're like, and then it's like a train has hit something and is just pushing things forward. And it's like Thanksgiving, work, holidays, presents, kids, things. And then we get to the end of the year and you're like, oh, I never really finished that thing or accomplished that goal. Does that sound familiar to you? Yeah. Yeah. Houston, of course. Yeah, I'm from Asheville, North Carolina, so I don't live there right now, but very familiar with that. Fall and holidays, so busy. So what I want to talk about today is empowering yourself, whether you're in a situation where you feel derailed or if you're like, oh, I just never get in front of the holidays. And what we're going to talk about is how to get in front of this holiday season and how to make more money. I'm going to talk about myself and why this matters to me. But I have some props. I have a pair of sunglasses and an umbrella. And I want to talk about these two things. If your business sold these two things, I want to talk about some choices you could make. If I had a display in the front of my store and it was a beautiful, sunny, hot day, I would put the sunglasses at the front of the store. If it was raining, I would be like, hey, I'm going to sell people umbrellas when it's raining. And I would put the umbrella at the front of the store. If I was all about style, I might like have a mannequin with the sunglasses on. Or perhaps I have both of these things and it's just a normal day. And I would talk about why you might need them if it's either sunny or raining. So here's what I see people do all the time is they're like, I have this thing or this service or this tax preparation or whatever your business is. We're going to talk about what your business is and how this can be relevant to you. And we don't think about how to sell those things within the time and place that we exist in. There's been natural disasters. There's a lot happening. There's an election coming. Like, how are we thoughtful about what of all the things we offer people might need right now? Because if my desire is to make me more money and money is a representation of how I help my customers, if it's sunny, I don't want to go like this. Do you need this right now? Do you want to buy this from me? Or if it's raining, I don't want to be like, I have this thing for you. They're amazing. But we want to think about time and place. And in a larger thing, if I'm thinking about holiday, and in fact, the holidays have started. Today is the Jewish New Year. So if you have Jewish clients, it's a great time to say Happy New Year or to reach out. But I want to think about what time and place am I existing in, and what is that environment for my customers, and how can I create for them? So you log on to Zoom and there's a lady and she's got umbrella and she's got sunglasses and you're like, who is this? So I'm going to give you like a 4-minute take on why, who I am and why I'm a great choice to speak on this. Also, as far as great choices, your next speaker is in fact my lawyer. She's amazing. So definitely come back for that one. So I'm going to give you a very brief, version of my life story, which starts when I was 6, and I promise we're not doing every year. But when I was 6, I got asked at school to draw what I wanted to be when I grew up. We all remember this day, right? And I was so excited. And when I showed it to my teacher and my parents, they all made the same face. It was this. And everybody was a little bit concerned because I was like, when I grow up, I want to be a bathing beauty and a tightrope walker. And I was so excited. And my parents were like, you could be a lawyer, you could be a business person. But I was like, I loved performing. A couple years later, I took a standardized test and they were like, oh, she's gifted, which didn't mean I was smart. We're all smart. It meant that I was good at taking standardized tests. And so I did that. I was good and I did the thing that they told me to do. And I graduated from high school and then I got a degree and then I got a master's degree in business. And then I became a marketing professional and I was a marketing executive at Hooked on Phonics. Some of you may remember this, which is owned by a company called Sylvan Learning Centers. I was doing that and I was like, I hate this. And I remember in high school when I was teaching dance and selling Girl Scout cookies, and I was like, I loved being in control. And so I, like every normal person in the world, after getting a master's degree and it's time to start your adult life, I quit everything and I moved to Asheville, North Carolina, and I became a professional belly dancer. Duh, that's what you're supposed to do with your life. And not only did that start a lifetime of rebellion, but also I concurrently to that started a dance business that was meant to help people feel good about themselves. Both of those parts of my life grew very quickly, and that dance business became a very large business because I was able to combine that thing that I loved with marketing knowledge and a background in business. And we were able to become a cornerstone in the community. I got to travel the world. I was very lucky. And I got interested in why people change. And at the same time, people were like, how did you do that? Can you help me with your business? And so I went to coaching school and I became a life coach and started a business coaching company 12 years ago. So I've been doing this for 12 years. And I've been able to do what I'm actually the most passionate about, which is empowering people in their businesses. Because I take people who are excellent at what they do and not so good at business, and I make them empowered and I translate business speak for them and I make them be able to go out and share the gift with the world and also make the money they need to take care of them and their families. Somebody said they were in the disasters in Texas. I'm seeing people go through awful things in North Carolina right now. And my hope is that I can empower people enough that if they have to pivot, if they need resources, that they have that, because I want more women to have more money. So today we're going to talk about some very practical things you can do right now as we think about the next season, the next 90 days, that can empower you to have a successful end of the year. So I'm going to share my screen. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the presentation and I'm going to run through lots of tips. I don't like to just talk. I think there's a lot of ideas in the world and not a lot of action. So I'm going to share this with you, but I'm going to ask you to grab your notebook and I'll be stopping and asking you to write things out. And then when we have some time at the end, I want to talk about you and your businesses and how I can help you prepare for this season. Here we go. And again, please, if you have any questions, just put that in the chat. That's me. I'm not just a business coach. I'm also a public speaker and a consultant. I also work with organizations, helping them and their teams become better leaders and salespeople. So that's a small commercial for me. So my agenda today is to talk about how to plan for the holidays. Again, please grab your notebook. Talk about what you, as you and your unique business, should be offering your unique customers. Then we're going to talk about how to create an offer. We're also going to delve a little bit into networking and what you can do. So something I sort of famously say is whatever you do right now, you will see the effect of in 90 days. This can be faster than that, but you can also start snowballing. I like to do goals in two ways. I look over the next quarter. So what's my 90-day goal? And then I keep a longer goal, which is right now is going to be 2025. So I'm taking actions that can help both of those timelines. Okay. So start early. I typically do holiday planning right about now, the beginning of October. So this is perfectly timed. I would say if you have a product, especially if you're selling at wholesale, I would actually start in Q2. So 3 months ago with any of my clients who are product-based companies, we start thinking about this in the summer. You can screenshot this as you want, but we want to just think, and I want to invite you, oh, I spelled Hashanah wrong, is that I want to invite you to always be thinking, is it raining or is it sunny? Do they need umbrellas or sunglasses? And how am I constantly changing how I'm talking about what I do based on the world we are living in at the moment? I am seeing, I work with a lot of different entrepreneurs, and I'm seeing people thrive who have pivoted again after the pandemic. And the people who were like, why isn't it working anymore? I did so well in COVID, are doing very poorly right now because they weren't agile to pivot. So we see here, not just holidays, but things that are coming up that are affecting people's mindset, taking some of their attention. So, and these are just in the US, but the next 2 weeks are the Jewish high holidays. Then we have the American election, we have American Thanksgiving. Christmas, Hanukkah starts on Christmas this year, and then New Year's Day. So as I look at this, the thing I want to start thinking about is both my timeline and my client's timeline. But when I made this list for you, when I was making this yesterday, I want to just tell you what I thought. One, if you're doing Facebook ads, if you're posting on social media, like there's going to be a lot happening around the election. So you think about media attention, people needing support, but I'm not necessarily doing a lot of sales at that point. I made sure to reach out to clients and friends of mine who are Jewish to wish them a happy holiday. I'm always making sure I'm thinking about my clients in that way. Then here's something interesting is that Thanksgiving is really late in the month. So we're actually looking at like between Black Friday, Cyber Monday that week, and Christmas is shorter than usual. Because typically Halloween, I mean, Thanksgiving can be as early as like the 21st. And I forgot Halloween. Lisa, come on. But there's also Halloween, which could be relevant to your clients. And then for me, as a business coach, my clients are more thinking about businesses in terms of end of year. So end of year includes they need to be spending to maximize their tax benefits. They need to be thinking about what's happening with revenue, what's happening with inventory. So there's more of a focus on New Year's. So I orient a lot of my holiday selling more around New Year's than um, the actual holidays. And that goes to my question for you all. So please get out your pen and paper, and you can also put this in the chat. So we want to plan for the holidays. The first thing we want to do is look at a calendar and think, when am I going to be unavailable? When am I going to be with my family? Uh, like if for me, when I had a dance studio, and even now I teach online, I think about, a lot of my clients have kids. I'm not going to teach on Halloween. So take 1 minute and just note down, when are you going to be busy? When are you going to be occupied? The magic of selling well is finding the intersection of you and your ideal customer. So next we want to know what holidays are relevant to your customers. Like I was saying, for businesses, it's New Year's. For, like if it's people purchasing for children, it's probably before Christmas. And then in the next 3 months, what is most top of mind for your customer during this time? What are they the most worried about? What are they thinking about? And then finally, we want to address what needs and problems do they have during this time of year? Yeah, so Angela is saying personally only the actual holidays to celebrate, so you might have more time. Um, and is there a place where your business is closed at all? So we want to use all of this to create the offer that we have. Yeah, meeting their goals while not drowning in family obligations. That sounds familiar. Okay. See what else is coming up for folks. Open 24/7. Got it. Any other, what else comes up for you when you read that? Tell me in the chat. While we're waiting for that, the next step is you want to look at some data. So I believe that data is so important, and data is what historically has happened with your business. So the next step in this process for you all is to look at what has happened in the past. So analyze sales, marketing, and messaging for the past 3 years. Did I have a holiday offer? What did it look like? How well did it do? And we want to be careful looking at the past 3 years that we were emerging from COVID. So 2021 may not be reflective of regular trends. It's still worth looking at. So before I plan my holiday marketing offers. I look at what has happened before. When did we offer things to people? When did we close offers? So that I can constantly be learning from the data that I have about the best thing to do for my business. If your business is new, I would do some research and I would do a little bit of digging on social media or other platforms. Did you get emails from someone who has a parallel business to what you have? With anything in our business, we want to take a look and say, hey, what happened before? So I can allow that to inform what's happening moving forward. The biggest issue I see with folks is they'll be like, I put this thing out there, nobody likes it. It means my business isn't going to work. Nobody likes me. And I'm like, hey, we might just need to shift how you're marketing or selling. And obviously, just a reminder, we need to be saying something more than once. Okay. So, step one, what's happening? When are holidays? When are people going to be available? Don't plan something the Wednesday night before Thanksgiving. Like, just start to wrap your head around the calendar for both you and the client. Step two is look at all your data. And then we want to really do a deep dive on our customer. We want to always be thinking about this bigger question of, am I fully thinking about my customer and what they need at any point? So we talked about which holidays are relevant to them. What are they worried about? What financial trends are happening for my client base right now? And what problem can I solve for them? Yesterday, I was meeting with my clients. I have a membership, and we were talking about like, how can I be a need to have and not a nice to have? Because when things get tight or people get uncertain, they stop the nice to have. And it's if you're very clearly solving a problem for them. And we want to do that in the environment we exist in right now. So, what problem can I solve for them in this fourth quarter of the year? So let's take some notes on that for the next minute or two. Just gonna read the comments. Yeah. And I am a need to have when I'm solving a problem. Yeah, Courtney said, my clients are extra busy during the holiday and also need support planning for 2025. So what I do with that, Courtney, is that I typically, December is always my biggest sales month of the year. I sell my packages for the next year, but I also really lean into keeping messaging short, talking about next year planning, etc. Okay. So let's talk about marketing and sales strategy, and then we will work on our offers. Yeah, I work with businesses and their leaders. They close during the holidays and want to finish the year strong or plan for 2025. Beautiful. That's another thing that's thinking about cultural. Like, I have clients in Europe and the Middle East, and typically they close the week between Christmas and New Year's. So if I'm going to do any sales or offers, it's going to be before then or in the beginning of January. So let's talk about marketing and sales strategy. And I want to be clear that for businesses, not every time, every business should make an offer on Black Friday. And that is now 2 weeks. It used to just be Black Friday, and now people start Black Friday the Monday before Thanksgiving. It goes through there. And then we have Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday, Giving Tuesday. So we'll see sort of 2 weeks of hyper sales happening. And then people go into regular holiday sales. Now, what's good about that is that customers are more open to buying. There are trends and research that people who like are already spending will continue to spend. However, people are certainly price conscious during this time. For those of us who serve businesses, talking about the tax advantage of buying in the end of year is also useful. So another reason to think about sales and marketing is to create a sense of urgency by tying a sales deadline to the holiday. I encourage people to always have deadline for purchasing certain things or for certain offers because urgency will change everything. Holiday offers can also boost sales, especially some people are releasing the economic differences this year. Or if you expect January and February to be slower, you can amplify profits and then save some of that money for cash flow for January and February. Another thing to think about is if you have extra inventory, because we pay taxes on inventory at the end of the year. Or you can be booking appointments that are billable. So these are all just different ways you can think about your offers. Larger bundles are high ticket items. So oftentimes I will bundle things for the holiday and then do a big discount. We do, like for me, I sell coaching packages. We do, if you book for the entire year, you get a large discount. Boosting brand awareness. That when people are opening their email and they're seeing, like, think about how many emails you get on Black Friday. You want your name and your brand included in that. And then also you want to be driving repeat sales from past customers. So also looking at when people purchased last year, and that's going to give you some data about when to offer. So these are just a lot of different, I'm going to go in next to actual some offer ideas. But what I want to do is I want to take that calendar of like, when are people available? And then I want to look at when am I available? What do they need? And then I want to think about all of these advantages to my business right now. So we want to actually create an offer, and then we'll create that marketing and sales schedule around it. So these are all different offers, and this is a way for both B2C and B2B companies. So I'm just going to leave this up here. You can screenshot it, but I want you to be very clear that when you're building your offer for the holiday, the thing you don't want to do is like cut yourself off at the knees to sell something and not make a profit. We always want to be looking at our margins here, but some different offers are BOGO, which means buy one, get one. Great if you're trying to get that inventory out. Flash sale, meaning selling something for a very limited point of time. So I did like $500 coaching calls last year, which was a discount for just like that holiday Black Friday weekend. So it's a time limited. We can offer money off, which is great for products, percentages. This one is really interesting as bundles is oftentimes you can do a small discount, but you can put two of your products together. Like a consultation and a discount on furniture. You could do, for me, like a coaching call and a course. Early bird, which means you get a discount if you buy early. You can treat VIP customers as they should be treated by offering it to them. Something I've done with a lot of product companies is gift guides. So like, which is a way to do a bundle. You get like when you go to the store and they have the bundled, you get the soap and the candle. That's a bundle, but you can be like, this is a great thing for this person in your life. Free shipping. Packaging your knowledge, which is great for the consultants and coaches. Holiday only service. So like you're super stressed. This is a massage for the holiday. Contest or giveaway. One thing I always like to think about is you want to invite new people in during this process and think, how do I get them into my ecosystem or funnel? We always want to think, what's the lifetime value of a customer? Meaning, if somebody came in at a discount, but then they become my customer for the next 4 years, or I do an intro offer that's a one-time thing, and then they could become a client. that will allow us to grow what we are doing and have them be a lifetime member. They're going to start to know, like, and trust us and go into the funnel of becoming a super fan long-term client for us. And then most importantly, communicate the offer in a way that your customer will hear. Meaning we're going to go back to what are those pain points? What's the problem we're going to solve? And we sell it in that way. So I'm not going to be like, I have sunglasses. I'm going to say, hey, stylish lady, like you want to look good and protect your eyes from the sun because her pain point is that it's so sunny out today. I have these great sunglasses. That one wasn't that good, but make sure you're speaking to their problem with a language that they will hear. Great. Now, I went through that very quickly, and because I don't know everybody's businesses, we're gonna answer lots of questions here at the end in a couple of minutes. I didn't specifically speak to if you want to do Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all that stuff. I want to speak to that quickly. If you have products, absolutely. If you own like dance, fitness, or yoga, absolutely you should be doing that. Black Friday needs to be more than just Thursday, Friday. You need to do a warm up, which is the week before. You go into Thursday, Friday, and go through the following Tuesday. You need to do a drip sequence of lots of emails, and you want to have an abandoned cart sequence for anybody who's doing products. If you have professional services, you can choose to enjoy Thanksgiving and take that time off. If your goal right now is new customers, new leads, or you need some cash at the end of the year, I would do it. I'm very careful with either luxury or professional services being like, it's a sale, half off, buy now. But instead, you use languaging like to honor you, like to honor you as a customer or as a business owner during this time. I'm offering one special thing. This is a time for you to focus on you when you're buying for everyone else. And you elevate it into that place. So we want to be careful of not using that like hyper sales language if we have an elevated product or service. Great. So I want to talk about some other things to think about as we go through the some other things I can think about during the holidays. First of all, update your look. I do not mean your personal look, although I wore forest green in honor of the holidays today, but I want to think about in my marketing, in my you can do like a seasonal update of your brand that invokes whatever you are offering that holiday. Depending on what holiday, we have to remember it's not Christmas for everyone, it's not Halloween for everyone, but whatever's the right holiday for your client, you can acknowledge that sort of to the level that it's appropriate. So make sure you're referencing that in your marketing materials. We don't need to be heavy-handed and have like, the hyper holiday decorations. That's up to you unless it matches your brand. But I do think it's worth acknowledging it in what you're putting out. Secondly, I want to think about networking strategy. So in that, we talked in the beginning, like today's a holiday. Have you acknowledged the people who are celebrating it? Have you reached out and been like, hey, Happy New Year? Being culturally aware, being attuned to what your clients or your best referral partners are celebrating is really useful. So I like to keep all the holidays on my calendar so I can know who to reach out to. So, like knowing are people celebrating the Jewish holidays, the Christian holidays, the Muslim holidays, and acknowledging that and like I hope you have a great whatever the holiday is very heartfelt. The holidays are also a great time to reconnect with your best customers. So don't just focus on getting new customers. I want to know, how are you acknowledging those people that you love who've paid you the most? Your best referral partners, your best clients, your best vendors. This is a great time to right now, that's what I'm talking about planning right now, order some cards. Order um like the gifts that you want to send to people. Um, we know in networking that the fortune is in the follow-up. So are you sending follow-up, like checking in, happy holidays to you, to the people that matter to us as we build that strategy for 2025? The last thing I want to say is that we also want to just be thinking about our personal goals here and mindset. Like, are there things that I want to be leaving in 2024? Can I use the third quarter to start thinking about, who do I want to be in 2025? How do I want to serve my business? How do I want to move forward? What do I want to do? And I think that that's really important. We talked a little bit in the description of this of sales strategy, and this idea. I think my biggest thing is, who do I want to choose, and how can I take this time to start working on myself? One thing I love to do is I start some of my New Year's goals or resolutions on December 26th, because I like to get a little leg up on some folks. Um, and just, I think it's also worth thinking, what do I need and what do I want to work on? Also, the holidays can come at us fast, insane. And it's also like, what do I need? And allowing for a little bit of this planning time will be useful. I want to know what questions you have. I'd love to workshop some ideas with you. So I'd love for all of you to just really quickly put in the chat, where's one thing you feel like you need another answer with this? Where do you feel stuck? What questions do you have? What would I recommend for your business? So I'd love one question from everyone in the chat. I'll just wait. What's something you want to develop a little bit more? Okay, great. As you're putting those in, I just wanted to say thank you to all of you for for spending the time with me. I know that it's even when things are part of a network and they're useful, you still have to give up your time. So I'd love to answer all of these questions in this call. But I also want to offer one, let's keep in touch. But the thing I offer to every group I speak to is a free call with me. And it is not a sales call, it's actually a time for us to dig into your business. And they're 15 minutes, they are no obligation. So I've just put that in the chat. I always tell people, if you're a little bit nervous to talk to me, that means you should do it. Also, I put my Instagram and my LinkedIn. It's just my name, but please connect with me. So let's answer some of these questions. Oops, I lost the chat. Courtney said, my clients are extra busy during the holidays, but also need support or planning. Oh, we talked about that. I'm sorry. Here we go. Courtney, choosing the type of offer for the holidays. So Courtney, tell me what you're thinking about.
So as you can see from my description, I'm a business and career coach. Like you, I have had some of my best months in December. I also take time off in December. I try to take 2 to 3 weeks off just for
Good.
myself. which is wonderful. And that's always worked beautifully. So this is very helpful to have like be thinking in advance of all of this. Separately, I'll try not to share too much, but I have an offer going on right now that ends tomorrow for a single session. I've done this offer several times over the years. It's been very successful. It is currently successful. So like I'm just on the heels of finishing one and then getting ready to think about the next. But my ideas, I liked when you said, look at what you've done in the past and like what the results were. So I kind of think like, oh, I know this in my mind, but I really don't from a sales perspective. I need to look back, like even, before the 3 years or just historically. I have done things where I've done like an actual giving people off whatever amount off of like my program. So like much bigger, like we're going to coach in 2025. I have 3 different programs and you're going to get this much off each one, a percentage or a dollar amount. I also, what I haven't done before, but I thought of it when you started talking, because as I said, my tagline is success without exhaustion for women. I work with really busy women who have big jobs or big businesses and don't have a lot of time, but they also want to plan for the next year, especially the business owners. But I'd say all of them, the career professionals and executives too. Of in one of my programs, I offer something called a visioning session. It's only for my premier clients, but I've thought of offering a visioning session too at the end of the year to everyone and saying, let's vision and figure out what's going to happen for you next year. And even as you were talking about the timing and I was writing, people are really busy. I thought, well, I can sell it in December, for example, or whenever I sell it, during the holidays, and people could use it during the holidays if they want, or they could even use it in the new year. It's one of the things that I do is I give people some time to use the session. So thoughts on that would be appreciated.
Yeah. One, I love that you're going to go look at the data because all of our thoughts have this emotional lens on it. And we'll be like, this did, but so, or like this failed. And then you look at it, you're like, oh, I made a lot of money.
Yeah.
I love the visioning session because the visioning session can upsell into the big packages and then you don't have to give a big discount. We don't want to like lose money to sell.
Right.
So I always think sell at the top of the funnel. I think it's a great idea. And I was just going to say, sell them before or even during your time off and then book them all in January.
Right.
Be like,
yeah,
I think it would be good to time limit it and be like, these are for January. Cause then also like in January, we're all like,
I know everyone's like, I got to do this. I have had some clients during this particular promotion that I'm doing now say, well, I really want to talk to you in December because I want to do the planning or talk to November. So some people do want to do it a little earlier, just depends. I'm not going to do it during my time off, obviously, but I might plan it to be ready so that if someone wants to do, it'll be an hour with me, then I can plug it into my calendar and into theirs. And then if not, we go to January.
I think that's perfect.
Okay, thank you for that. I haven't done it before, so I'm excited.
Me too. Good job. Thank you. Okay. So, we have, I'm going to go as long as I can answer questions. So let me just pull up our next question. Yeah. So, make sure you schedule that call with me. Here we go. Julie, my business is referral based, high touch. I'm wondering how I can generate more sales with this sort of business model. Julie, can you tell me a little bit about it?
Sure. And my tagline is your data's talking. Are you listening? I work with, thank you. High five. I work with businesses that are thinking of selling themselves or with private equity, other kinds of acquirers, M&A, that are thinking of buying other businesses. And I use statistics and data science to find the pockets of growth, to figure out the profitable customer segments, figure out what's impacting revenue. And so I'm very much referral based. So I'm wondering if that how I could incent that sort of activity in Q4.
I would like that one slide where I talked about the networking, like I would lean into that so hard. Like one, you like, who do I need to say this to? Who do I need to say this to? Like who's Christmas? Who's this holiday? Who's this holiday? You know, because we want to honor. And then you just check in and then you know, you open up, I would do a bunch of one-on-ones with people, like Zoom coffees, and be like, what are you thinking about for next year? Are you thinking about selling? Like, are we ready to do this? And then be like, this is how I can help you. The other thing with like selling to that size of business is being like, hey, if you want to work together next year, I'll just say this to a client, like, if you need, like, if you did well this year and you need to make some purchases because of taxes at the end of the year, we can do your billing in December.
Okay.
Please.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. If you've got anything extra.
Yeah, I think that sometimes people don't even think about it. And I've had people now, a lot of my clients are like, oh yeah, I pay you in December because they want that bill when they know they have money. Yeah, but I would lean into talking to everybody one-on-one and just being like, what are your goals? And then being clear about how you can help them, having a clear sales conversation.
Okay. And especially, so lean into the contacts I have, like the tax attorneys, the CPAs. What are your clients looking at? Do you have any who are finishing the year behind where they want to be? Maybe they want to engage me for next year.
Yeah, I'd be like, hey Pete, you know, like, how you doing? How are the kids? And then I'd be like, I've got a bunch of people getting me on the calendar for next year. Is there anybody you think I should talk to?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Lisa.
You're welcome. It's nice to meet you. Data. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm planning on launching.
I'm going to jump in real quick before
Yeah.
the end of the hour. So everyone in this call, but in the entrepreneur community, we have a sheet that a Google sheet that I'm putting in the chat right now. This is your opportunity to talk about your special offer for the holidays or before the end of the year. We're going to collect all this information, put it in a big spreadsheet that will then get sent out to all of Ellevate community, which is going to get a lot of eyes on your service, your product, whatever. So I really highly encourage you to fill out this form and we will share it. I don't know, in like, was it in, I forgot, Crystal.
There's time. So I know some of you are still figuring out what those offers are. That's why we're getting this started now and why we have Lisa here to start talking about it. We'll be gathering them towards the beginning of December is when we'll be sharing it as part of our year-end celebration. It is going to be part of sharing that out, and it will go out as a link in the Monday all Ellevate community email. I did get that confirmation from Jess that they're willing to let us do that, which is big because last year, for those who are around, we were only able to send it out to just the entrepreneur community. So this year, you have some sort of an offer, B2C or B2B, and you include it in this, the spreadsheet we put together, it will be going out to the entire Ellevate membership. Actually, not just the membership, because a lot of the members aren't paid members, the whole email list, put it that way. So that's like, right now there's, counting free members, there's like over 400,000 Ellevate members. So this is like a big deal. We'll keep reminding you. We'll keep reminding you. You don't have to know it now, but hopefully incentive to take Lisa's advice and start working on this.
Yeah, right. And if people have questions, that'd be a great thing to talk to me about. Crystal, what was your question? You said you were thinking about launching a group.
So, I wasn't planning on doing anything until I heard you talking about it and got me thinking along the early bird line. So it's still in this, I'm looking at doing a new group coaching product to launch in January, and I wasn't planning on doing it. I've had success with the after Christmas, before New Year's for, I've done, you know, planning and that type of thing, but
Mhm.
it got me thinking, what if I did like an early bird discount before Christmas to maybe prep the sales, even though I may not have everything quite ready, but you know,
Yeah.
once you know what it is and what you're going to offer, it's enough information to sell. You know,
Yeah.
would that be a smart thing to do?
Yes, is my answer. Crystal, when I do early bird, one, it's really helpful. I actually like to sell before I build sometimes with enough time, right? Of course, but I think that that's a good idea for you. And the other thing is I do like bonus sessions. So I'll be like, if I sell something on December 1st and it starts January 1st, around the 15th, I'll do a bonus session, but it also allows me to hear what people need so I can change the content.
Yes. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so welcome. Let me just see if there are other questions. Budget. Yeah, use up your budget. That's huge. On social, should I push one or both of my lead magnets? Super Kate, my answer is one. Because we don't want to get people distracted. Angela, your thoughts, pricing. Angela, are you still here?
I'm here.
Yeah,
Yep, thank you. This has just been the most inspiring session. So thank you.
that's my happy face.
Anyway, I took notes the whole time, so thank
Good.
you. So my question is, you know, uh, the whole of Houston has really been, you know, turned upside down. And also with the pandemic, well, I just whatever I wrote, you got it. So
Yeah.
my question is, knowing these things, how did I am not in a position to take any discounts on anything. But I don't, and I so I really do over deliver to my clients, understanding everything in the world and also the things that we're talking about. But what is trending and or your just opinion? What is your thoughts on pricing generally? Not specific, you know, knowing that I'm a creative services business, I have a huge inventory that I've been very thoughtful about. Um, my house got totally, I mean, it's going to take me 50 years to get my historic house back to the way
Yeah.
it needs to be. So, but I am an example of a lot of people and especially my customers. So I just was wondering about pricing, what your thoughts were.
Yeah, that's a great one. I'm sorry that happened to you. I mean, I'm supporting clients right now who've been through this. And two, this is my thought on pricing right now is that I just made my lowest offer less and I've increased the pricing on my highest offer because it's making me more accessible and I can do because I'm thinking volume and then high service. So if you have the ability to do that, the other thing I'm doing is just taking things apart and selling them in pieces. So like for instance, like I used to have a 6-month coaching package. I'm now selling 3 months. Everybody who's bought a 3-month has continued, but people feel more comfortable paying in little pieces than all at once. I think that's fair. So I always say repackage your magic. So like if I have the ability to put things together in different ways that I can still serve myself. Because actually, when I make the 6-month, 3-month, it's slightly more. 3 months is slightly more than half. I actually end up making more. So
You're just I totally understand.
I've
So,
recalibrated package length so that people feel more comfortable with the price.
but I love what you just said, where you can do more at lower because the people that are buying at the low end of your services, yeah, are buying low because of that reason. But your
Right.
luxury, like my luxury clients, I need to, even if I added in more, I mean, because my business has been with the pandemic totally upset. A lot of my clients went out of business. You know, I had to cut off some of them that were not paying, and it was costing me like everything to keep up the service with hopes that they would, get better. And I'm glad I did that. But I love how you're saying there's the top tier where you make your money, and then you can come up with things that you can offer at a lower tier that so you're still being in business, and hopefully I totally understand. I mean, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Your revenue
Yeah.
may be flat, but
Yeah.
at least I
Actually, I think your revenue can go up if you do that, because these people like people who can pay high price can pay high price. And then here you can have volume. Like I cut the price of something in half, but we're getting more people. Because what was affordable during the pandemic when people were getting government money is different than now. Also, generally you see sales go up no matter what the result after an election, because people just feel a little more certain. At least we know who it's going to be. People are happy and unhappy, but I just want to invoke some abundance and joy and awesomeness for you. I'm sorry that happened.
thank you.
Yeah.
It'll
You're
be
great.
fine.
I know, but let's have it be great. Yeah.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Angela. Yeah. Okay. Did I miss anyone? I've got my little crew left. Awesome. Thanks, y'all. I wanted to answer
Yeah.
everything.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Thank you so much, Lisa. This has been amazing, and we will be sharing the recording with the community. Thank you so much
You're
for
so welcome. I enjoyed it.